Today on the Daily Dose, the fall of the Byzantine Empire. After Roman Emperor Constantine I chose Byzantium as the site of his Eastern Roman Empire, or New Roma as he called it, once Constantine had made his decree in 330 AD, the city of Constantinople became the heart of the Byzantine Empire, which survived without interruption from ancient times until the emergence of the modern age, nearly 1100 years after the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD. Thanks to early government efficiencies, political stability, a strong standing army, and the vagaries of geography, Constantinople and the Byzantine Empire at first proved less vulnerable to outside invasion, at the same time serving as a defensive buffer between Europe and Asia. The Byzantine Empire reached its peak during the reign of Justinian I from 527 to 565 AD, where his many conquests in the Mediterranean and North Africa created a financially draining overreach that forced heavy taxation on Byzantine citizens in the centuries following his death. With Byzantine military forces stretched thin, political instability and severe economic weakness exposed the region to invasions from the Slavs and the Persian Empire by the 7th and 8th centuries. And after the Prophet Muhammad refined the beliefs and practices of Islam in 622 Mecca, by the end of the century, Muslim armies had taken Syria, the Holy Land, Egypt, and North Africa. Conditions further eroded during the Crusades of 1095 to 1291, creating centuries of lingering animosities between Muslims and Christians. But the true fall of the Byzantine Empire began in 1369, when Emperor John V sought financial aid in the West under growing pressure from Turkish invaders, instead finding himself arrested in Venice as an insolvent debtor, which in turn forced Byzantium to become a vassal state to the Turks, replete with tributes in both money and soldiers paid to the Turkish Sultanate. The Byzantine Empire finally ended with the fall of Constantinople, when Ottoman Emperor Mehmed II stormed the city on May 29, 1453, ushering in the long reign of the Ottomans, at the same time leaving behind a vast catalog of Byzantine art, literature, architecture, and theology that still resonates to this day. And there you have it, the fall of the Byzantine Empire. Today on the Daily Dose. If you want early access to Daily Dose documentaries before they're made publicly available, consider supporting us on Patreon so that you too could feed the filmmakers who feed your brain.